Unfrickin' real. Unfrickin' real. This game goes to overtime. No way this game should have gone to overtime. But that's what it is. You play the prevent defense, and it prevents you from winning. Hopefully, they're not a great overtime team, and we're not one either. But maybe we can get one. Win this faceoff. Let's see if Thomas can win the faceoff. Yes, he does. Back to Falk. Falk in his own zone. Skating back, around the back of the net, holds up. Got Tarasenko and Thomas kind of waiting. Let's get the pass to Thomas. Thomas off the right-hand side, crosses middle, drops it off Tarasenko. Tarasenko fires and just misses. Puck goes out of play. Good start, though, at least. Good drop pass to Tarasenko from Thomas. That was close. I mean, good. He goes right through the line, leaves it to Tarasenko, and Tarasenko just misses. 4:36 left to go in OT. So we have Thomas. Tarasenko. There it is, folk. And Thomas and Tarasenko continue their point streaks. That will be Thomas to Tarasenko to Falk, who just blasted in, gets a 2-goal game, 3-point game, I think. Yes, absolutely. I agree with that. Absolutely agree with that. Wow. I mean, you're getting 2 points, but it's not a good 2 points. It's not. You should not have gone to overtime. Should not have gone to overtime. It is what it is. The Blues just played the bare minimum they had to play. I said this pregame, I think they're going to play just enough to win, and that's exactly what you saw. The only line that really, really, really had it was that fourth line. That fourth line played really good tonight. Yes, Thomas and Tarasenko, both their point streaks continue. Buchnevich's ends. I don't know how close he is. I don't think he's close enough. I mean, there's 3 games left, maybe. Let's see, let me find Falk. Hold on a second. Can you find a Justin Falk on the score sheet? Hey, I'm looking. Give me a second. Oh, here we go. Falk. 13, 14, 15. I don't think he gets five goals in the last 3. Be nice. I mean, the one that's sitting right on the doorstep is O'Reilly at 17. Right? The chance of him getting 3 is better, but I don't think it happens. Tarasenko at 80 points now. That's he's you have 3 guys on the Blues that are point per game guys, no matter what. Thomas, Tarasenko, and Buchnevich are locked in a point per game. That was the definition. Yes, I think it was. Did they really just pull us all through that mess? Yeah, it was bad, man. Vladdy made up for giving up the puck on the first goal. Yep, he did. He's got 15 now. That's right. I just looked it up. Falk is so good. I don't know about that. Good, not so good. Lazy play by all but the fourth line. Jeff, normally you and me don't get along. I don't agree. This time I absolutely agree with you. Other than the fourth line, nobody played worth a crap. Drives me to drink, Tammy. I'm with you, my friend.
And one thing before anybody says something stupid, you cannot blame Bennington for those goals.
No. I might put the fourth one on him.
Maybe that one, but the other 3, no way.
No, I think the fourth one was a little bit more on him than anybody else. I'll put the fourth. I do put the fourth one on him a little bit, right?
Hey, fellas, sorry I'm a little bit late though. Whatever that third period had me reeling. I was like,
well, they did exactly why. I told you it was going to happen. I absolutely said this was going to happen. I said Thomas didn't get an assist on that OT. Yeah, he will, though. I think he will.
I think they'll change it.
Yeah, they're going to change it. If you look back, I mean, he takes the face off.
Yeah,
I mean, they're fighting for the puck, but Tarasenko wins that puck. That's gonna give it to him.
Check it. Yeah, check back tomorrow, even later tonight. But
later
tonight.
But
like we said a while back with Matty C, even the NHL's been really bad about keeping things updated and correct.
Yeah. So I think he does get it. Or Perron are doing effing nothing. I'm not with you on that. I
don't think they're not doing nothing, but they're not there working their hardest. I will tell you that.
It's basically becoming more of a resting period now because we're approaching the end of the season.
Well, here it is.
What?
Say again?
You don't know if Falk is
because
good?
he made a comment. Tommy made a comment earlier. Falk is so good. Right. And I said, no, I won't go with so good. He's good.
I will.
All right. I don't like overhyping players. I really don't.
He's not an elite player, but he's a very good offensive defenseman, and he's pretty good defensively now that he's came to the Blues.
Team got too cocky with the passing and tried to force too many through, ended up in turnovers. Yeah, they played not to lose. And when you play not to lose, you end up in overtime or you lose.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When you're up 3-1, you one more goal. You make it 5-1, this game ends. You take them out of it. But we saw this with Minnesota, that game with Minnesota. The Blues were up, 5-1, 4-1, 5-2, and they came back on us. So you can't, you've got to keep playing. You've got to keep playing. Just because you say it's going to happen doesn't mean it will, Mr. Know-It-All. But
You go, girl.
Say again?
You go, girl. You tell him, Tanner.
Why do you think Letty sucks, Lance?
Why do I think Letty sucks? Is because people like you, Michael, every Blues player we get is great, and he's going to fit in. He's not going to be here past this year. They can't afford him unless they trade Falk or Krug, and they're not going to do that. And nobody wants Scandella. So Letty is going to be that fifth wheel. He's okay. He's not bad, but he's not good. He's not great.
Yeah, he's not what everybody thinks
he's
he is.
average.
He's been a good pickup, but I've been that. Kyrou is pissing me off not using his speed. That's not on Kyrou, though. That's not on Kyrou. Kyrou has been a liability.
Oh, my goodness. Are we back to this again?
Thank you, Lance. Best demon we got. No, Letty is not the best demon we got.
I think they're talking about Krug.
Falk, maybe.
Oh, yeah, Falk, I meant. Yeah.
Yeah. Falk is an elite shot, incredible, solid, and reliable D player. Okay, I mean, that's your opinion. You get it. I'm with you. I get that. I'm not of that opinion. Falk is a good player. Falk needs to be better defensively, right? And that's something that I've said for a while. We need to be better. Our defensemen need to be better. Right, not our defense. Our defensemen need to be better.
Our defense can turn out to be the best offense.
Yeah, and Jeff, I was thinking the same thing tonight. There was one or two times I thought, man, Parayko looks good. The rest of the time, I don't know what it is about him. And sometimes when a big guy can look lazy at times because he doesn't look like he's moving as quick as some people, but he is. Yeah. But I don't think it's because of that. It's just and I don't expect him to be Chris Pronger, but he needs to be a little more physical. I'm not asking him to be a little more physical.
I agree with that. I think all our defensemen need to be more physical.
I don't want Krug being more physical than he already is. He's too tiny. He'll get beat up.
Yeah.
Who would you say is our best defensive player? Oh, that's easy. You want to know who our best defensive player is? Bushnevich, Thomas.
Guy, he means defenseman, not defensive player.
That's not what he said.
I know, but that's what he means.
Right. I would have to say, and Golf King, I don't believe not giving Pedro what he want was stupid. I don't believe that at all.
No.
That would have handcuffed us.
Yeah,
we wouldn't have gotten we wouldn't have gotten
Buchnevich or Saad.
Buchnevich. Absolutely.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, the Blues offered him 8 for it. If Petros supposedly loves the city so much and didn't want to leave, he would have stayed. There's only a $400,000 difference. And some people go, well, that's a lot. Guys, to these multimillionaires, a couple $100,000 isn't really that much.
No, it had everything to do with the no movement clause, right? Everything to do with the no movement clause. Okay, so he did mean defenseman. And yes, I will say Falk has been our best defenseman. But is he up for the Norris? Is he even going to get Norris votes? Is Falk going to get Norris votes? If Falk's not going to get Norris votes, which he isn't, he's not freaking a great defenseman. Right? He's not going to get Norris votes.
There's a lot of guys that are great defensemen that do not get votes for the North. That they just don't get it, because this league they focus on 4 to 5 guys, and as long as those 4 to 5 guys are playing about the same, those are the guys that are going to get the top 5 votes. The
I'm
good one, Dale.
Right? Where are we at? Here's Falk has been reliable, and he has great vision. I agree with that. He always recognized the opportunity to drive the net for great scoring chances. That's a fair point.
Yeah. And guys,
Falk is the best defenseman with offense.
Sorry.
Tank is the best forward with defense. No, actually, I think Buchnevich is probably your best defensive forward right now.
Yeah, and guys not saying he hates him. Guys just saying some people go overboard and say he's a leader, a superstar, and he's not.
All right, but touche, I agree with you on Bushy's defensive play. No, and that's our problem. Not sure where Golf King's coming with that. I came in my pants. Oh, God. Oh, my goodness. I should have read that one before I put that up. Not like we're going to get any Hart Trophy votes either. That's true. We won the cup on our defense. That is true, but it was a different style of defense.
Here's what won the cup. All people believe is the hard-hitting defense, and that Bennington won the games that they needed to win, and he won that big Game 7. Guys, they had timely scoring against Boston. It was a combination of everything. Yeah. This team that 2018-19 team does not get the credit for their offense in the playoffs that they deserve.
Yeah. No, it's not. And there's different things. Some people will look at, well, here it is, right? And I don't mean this to be derogatory towards anybody, right? There are a lot of people that know just enough about hockey that when they hear some of these announcers talk, they jump on that. Oh, the Blues are this big, heavy, back-checking team, and that's what won this and won that. Well, on the surface, yeah, that might be it. I have an ambulance going by me, so when I'm talking, you're picking that up.
You're not having a heart attack, guy, are you?
No, not yet. I'm not sure if I'm being arrested either. So what I was getting at, the surface. A lot of Blues fans love the surface of hockey, and that's all they look at. When you go underneath, when you get that undercurrent, when you look at the chess match that it develops and the other things, the reason that the Blues won that Stanley Cup had a lot to do with everybody playing for each other and rolling 4 lines. Rolling 4 lines doesn't mean that you're a big, heavy team. It means that you can get guys out there when you need to get guys out there. But and then the other thing was when they had a bad game. They erased it, right? Memory eraser, right? Magic eraser. They took a Mr. Clean magic eraser, put it on their heads, wiped back and forth, and that was gone, and they came out again. Because I'll tell you what, after Game 3 of that final, that Game 3 would have destroyed most teams in your home building. Getting beat 7-2 or 7-3, whatever it was.
That was the first finals game that we had in 50 years.
Yeah, 49 years, close to, but yeah. And then you get that. You come back in Game 4 and you're able to erase all of that and take it to them, and ended up beating them 4-2 or 4-1, whatever it was.
And that was basically one of the most main parts that got me during the finals too, is that after that incredible, embarrassing 7-2 loss that we suffered, I was about ready to basically like blow my top off for her too. In fact, I had Ashley had to talk to me and console me many times during the course of our cup run or whatever, especially during the finals too. She can tell you all about that.
This is a good point. The whole playoffs, it was a perfect storm, in my opinion. We could have lost the first round very easily. Yeah, we could have. And that first round, me and Lance talked about this a couple days ago. Turned on game 5 with less than 10 seconds left to go in the game.
Mm-hmm.
That turned right there. That goal by Schwartz turned right there. In the story.
Yeah, it just took the cells out of the Jets.
Right. And then you have the Dallas series. I mean, that Dallas series, they came within millimeters of scoring.
And they also came in. Yeah, Dallas came in within millimeters with Jamie Benn of scoring. It's possible right now. We could be still talking about us getting a cup, which I'm glad we're not.
Yeah, I mean, so what we're seeing now is you're seeing, and I've talked about this
at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Say again, Chris.
I'll say that Dallas series was epic to me at the time, right there too. That was a trip in itself.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it was. It was one of the hardest fought second round series for the Blues in a while.
Long time.
In fact, I'll even never forget over that one time too. I think this is right when we was going into the game 7 of that series, to where we won in like triple overtime, and Pat Maroon
double overtime
got the miracle goal for us, and double or triple overtime. I live right next door to a fire department here in town, Highridge Fire Department, and on their sign it says, "Let's leave Dallas seeing stars."
I don't think Bozak, when he's healthy, he's getting in the lineup. I really don't. Right?
Yeah. How can you put him back in the lineup and take a spot away from somebody who's playing really good? Right? Because when Shin comes back, Dakota Joshua's going to go down, but I think Dakota Joshua will be on the playoff roster. He'll get called up definitely, but he probably won't see time unless something happens. They get an injury, something like that, or the Blues might.
I don't think you bring Bozak back to the playoffs anyways. I don't think you change what you've got now. You're on a 16-game point streak, right?
Yeah,
16 or 14. 16 game point streak. Let me double check on that. I think it's 15. I mean, you're what? You haven't lost a game in regulation in 3 weeks, right? The Blues in their last 10 coming into this game were 9-0-1, and they're still 9-0-1, right? I mean, they're playing some of the best hockey of the year. They've gotten 22 points in April so far. Add 2 more to that, 24. That's the most they've gotten in any by far. I mean, the next closest was 16 in January, right?
And that's what you call a period of playing hot at the right time and trying to stay heated up for the playoffs.
They're 10-0-2 in the month of April. I mean, they haven't lost in regulation in the month of April.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's just
it's
amazing. Impressive.
It's amazing.
Right? And as long as you've got this great streak, just keep it going.
I'm going to tell you guys something. If you got a hockey team and they've won 5 games in a row, 4 games in a row, in this league, to me, that's still amazing. 4 or 5 games in a row is amazing. That much less, all these points they've got this month. And I mean, but if Colorado wouldn't be playing so great and the Panthers playing so great, the Blues would be the talk of the NHL, in my opinion.
Yeah, they would be.
Right? Just like the Cardinals were late last year with that 17-game win streak. That was epic and amazing in itself.
Stephen Glass says, in order to win a cup, a lot of things need to go your way. Players have to step up in clutch situations. Blues did it time after time. And that's true. And now what you're looking at tonight is just one of those cases of, okay, this is just a game we got to play. Right? Mm-hmm. That's all it was. It was a game we got to play. Tomorrow, that's going to shift. Right? That shifts a little bit because it's a promotion game. It's Getzlaf's last game. Right? I know that the Ducks are going to want to win it for him, but if I'm the Blues, I'm going out and I'm going to pound Getzlaf. I am. I'm going to pound him. I'm going to make him remember it in a negative way.
I do.
Right? Maybe you let him get a goal, but that's it.
I was at Keith Kachuk retirement game, and the Blues played terrible.
Well, I hope they don't play terrible for this one.
I'm just saying you got to watch out because sometimes teams will show up for that, and other times they just don't show up. I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about the Ducks.
Yeah, well, the Ducks are
I think
playing
this will
right
be a
now.
pretty much evenly defensive game going into tomorrow, and especially and the motions are going to be high, especially for Anaheim because of once again Getzlaff's last game.
The Kings are beating the Ducks 3-2 with, and I love when it resets on me. 7:47 to go in the third. Calgary beat the Canucks 6-3. Blues 5-4 in OT over the Coyotes. The Sharks 4-1 over the Dead Hawks. Stars 3-2 over the Kraken. That keeps them in that playoff hunt. Panthers 3-2 over the Leafs. Lightning 6-2 over the Preds. That hurts the Preds a little bit. Senators 6-2 or 6-4 over the Canadians. Bruins got by Trent Fredericks, got the third goal in this one, 3-1 against the Rangers. Carolina Hurricanes 3-2 over the Devils. Penguins 7-2 over the Red Wings, and the Sabres were 5-3 winners over the Islanders. And that is your out of town scoreboard. No, my daughters are not going to tomorrow's game. Unfortunately, was not able to get them tickets. No big deal. I like dead yotes better than trash yotes. Oh my goodness. The Kraken really upset me with that 2-0 lead last night. Yeah, that was, but they are what they are. That you don't expect that team. They get a win, they get a win. They're going to get some emotional wins, and you hope for it. I was hoping for an emotional win last night, but the Wild, they're a good team, right? Let's remind everybody of that. The Wild are a good team. The Wild have the same amount of points as the Blues. The Wild have played this well all season long. Period. End of discussion. They're a good team. It's going to be a good, tough series. It's going to go 6 or 7. It's not going to be a 4 or 5 gamer. We're not gonna sweep them. I know we have this great record against them. That's going to end in the playoffs. They're going to get a couple of wins against us. However, that record's still going to maintain, but it's not going to change. This is a good team. Whether or not we get home ice, it's going to come down to who wants to win that round more.
Right, and plus this was and kind of going back to what I was saying earlier. No, exactly, Steven, you just said it right there. I'm saying the Blues in 6 in that series. No matter who gets home ice, I still think the Blues will be able to handle them, and it's going to go 6 games. And if it goes to 7, that won't surprise me much either.
Yeah, I can see it go 6. I can see Blues in 6. I'm good with that. Oh, if we play our game on all cylinders, there's no team that can beat us. To be honest with you, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when we're firing on all cylinders and all our players are healthy and everything, yeah, we are definitely good, and we can also definitely cycle the puck.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, Ryan, we don't control our own fate, right? Because of that game in hand that the Wild have, they control their fate. All we can do is win the games in front of us, right? That's all we can do. Win the games in front of us. We're 9-0-1, right? We have that one. We have that one overtime loss against Boston a couple games ago. Other than that, we're doing what we need to do. You got to go into tomorrow's game. Now, the good thing for the Blues is that's not a lot of travel, right? It's not a lot of travel. It's a quick flight. They'll be in their beds by midnight, more than likely. So get into town, get to your hotel and crash out. Actually, might be a little later than that because I don't think you can fly. I don't know how late you can fly into John Wayne Airport. I know like in the San Jose airport, you can't fly into that thing after 10 o'clock. You fly any later than that, you got to fly into San Francisco and then drive down. So there's some rules on that. And it might be for Orange County too, because that airport's right in a residential area, more or less. Jeff Horseman says all 5 Coyotes were rushing our zone every shift in the third. Well, that's what they're supposed to do. And I know, but it's giving me hope. Looks like the Leafs are getting into the playoff mode. They're not the only team.
I say Toronto's going to be Toronto's
King,
going to try and be a good competitor this year.
Say again?
Toronto's going to try and be a good competitor this year.
Well, they've got to get over that first round bugaboo first, and that's all going to depend on who they are. Which line was Cairo on today? Did you think that Berube was trying to find out where he fits now that Thomas is? Yeah, it might be. I think he was on the third line. Cairo's just confused. Cairo's going to need an offseason, in my eyes. What contracts are ending? We've talked about this before. We don't have a lot ending. Bozak and Perron are the 2 big ones. I think we have an RFA. 1 or 2 RFAs in there, but a lot of them have already been signed.
What do you think will be the fate of Bozak and Perron? Do we extend them, re-sign them?
Perron maybe, Bozak no. Right?
Where do you think Bozak will see fit as a team then if he doesn't get re-signed? Which team do you think he might go to?
I actually think Bozak will retire.
Yeah, I do too.
All right. I think Bozak will retire. Bozak, the thing with Bozak is Bozak has very small kids, right? And if you on Twitter, if you follow his wife, Molly Bozak, she's very vocal on Twitter. And she talks a lot about the St. Louis area. She talks a lot about the kids in schools, things like that. This is a family that I think has placed very strong roots in the St. Louis area. I think they know that their career time is ending. Bozak's what, 35 or 36? I just don't see.
That's about retirement age, average retirement age for any sport.
Maybe no, for Bozak, for me, it's just, I think it's the end of this is the end of the road as we know it. Let's see. They don't have Bozak on the roster, so I can't look at his age here. Oh, here we go. He was born in 86, so what's that, 96, 06,
35,
16,
35,
36, March 19th, so he would have been 36 now, I think.
He just turned it, yeah.
Yeah, so I see him being at the end of his career. Now, third and fourth liners, when you're 36, you don't get picked up, right? You don't get picked up, and if you do get picked up, it's you're getting picked up. Like this season, he's on a minimum contract. Does he want to play another season on a minimum contract? Right, and that's what it's going to come down to. Think about this. Oh man, you guys are going nowhere. 57 goes nowhere. Well, I don't know that yet. Bozak will retire. Bozak is gone at 36. I don't think another team will need his services. That's what I said. Perron, I can imagine coming back, but Army has some re-signing to think about with O'Reilly and someone. Okay, O'Reilly and Tarasenko are another year down the road.
But he's still got to think of that.
Okay, he does. And that's why I think this is what I've talked about before, that gap, right? That's why I think you look at Perron and you sign him over next year. You sign him next year and 1 year. So gap. You have to gap it. If you don't gap it, you're leaving yourself. You're hurting yourself.
You do not have to gap a contract. You can sign a guy for a year when you've already got the other guys to sign. Your cap space is your cap space. If you've got $20 million to sign guys, you don't go, well, I'm going to pay $15 million this year and I got to gap it and I got to put 15 next year. You don't have to do that. And
okay,
with Perron,
so if you can sign Perron at, let's say, $5 million, right? Okay, let's drop it to $4 million. If I take that $4 million and I put it beyond next season, I take it for 2 seasons. Yes, you're right. I'm taking $4 million off of that next season. However, it gives me the room to say, okay, I have this player here. Now I can work with these other players. I'm sorry, you do not want to have 12 restricted or unrestricted free agents in one season. You have got, I'll be honest, I think he signed some guys, he gaps that year before Tarasenko and O'Reilly, or in this offseason, he goes with O'Reilly, he goes to O'Reilly and he goes to Tarasenko and says, okay, guys, what are you looking for? What do you want? Let's start looking at your extensions now. And that will be the best thing to do.
Well, here's the thing. They don't have to worry about it because they're not extending Tarasenko. They're not going to do it.
You're wrong. I'm sorry. I'm going to tell you right now. I think you're absolutely dead wrong.
They've got too many other guys to sign. They've got young guys coming up. And Guy, I know he loves St. Louis, but he's already told them, he didn't demand it, but he's already told them, if you want to trade me, that's fine. So he already knows that there's a possibility he's going to go somewhere. He's making seven. Wait. He's making seven and a half. He's not going to
40-goal scorer, Lance.
Are the Blues going to have the money to pay him $9 or $10 million a year?
He's not going to want 9 or 10.
Oh God, Guy, this whole stuff of I love it here. I'm going to take less crap has to stop here in St. Louis. He's not going to take any less than he's making now, and they can't even afford him at that with all these people coming up. He is going to get $9 to $10 million a year is what he's going to get.
He's not. No, he's not going to. I'm sorry. He's going to do this extension that he did now. When he did this one, the contract he's on now, everyone thought he was a $9 million player.
I didn't.
I'm sorry. They talked about him being $9 million per year, and he came and signed at 7.5.
There weren't that many guys making $9 million a year 6 years ago.
Right? The cap hasn't moved. The cap, the players have to take into consideration the cap hasn't moved. Right? I'm telling you, Tarasenko stays, and he stays for right around 8.5. If not less. If not less. Right?
We shall see. I ain't changing my mind on that one.
Right? I'm wrong. That's the MO. I don't know what that means, Jason. Right? No. He's Russian. All they care about is his money. Jeff, no. I'm gonna no. I will tell you right here and now. I know for a fact that's not true. First of all, anytime you say all, that you're lumping everybody in the same basket. I disagree with that.
I know several Russians that aren't greedy.
Yeah. Tarasenko himself could have gotten more money on the free market when he first signed this contract that he's on now. He could have. Didn't. He signed here. I think Chiefs pissed at everybody. I'm kind of listening to it. No, they I'm sorry that I'm not going to go there, man. I disagree with that. You know, and Golf King, I'm kind of with you. Well, they needs to call him out hard. All right, they let this team back in. Well, I'll name one. Tarasenko did. When that contract originally came up, they were talking about 8.5, and he took less. Bushnevich took less. Bushnevich could have gotten more money elsewhere. Saad could have gotten more money elsewhere.
Bushnevich wasn't going to get much money elsewhere, more than he got here. Maybe a little more.
I'm going to have to listen to this interview a little more. I didn't get to hear all of it. I got to listen to it. But see, here, I got an issue with that. Kairu's not the only guy that had a bad game out there. Perron didn't have a good game. O'Reilly didn't have a good game. Tarasenko didn't have a great game. Thomas didn't have a great game. There's a whole bunch more. Why are you destroying the young kid? This if you want to know why Kairu is as bad as Kairu is right now, right there. It's right there. Right there. You have taken this kid who was full of confidence, full of it, and just destroyed him. Kairu will get traded in the offseason. I'm almost dead sure of it right now. Right? Almost sure of it right now. Oh, oh man, I don't want to go there right now. Oh man, I can see this turning really bad.
That's kind of like reminding myself a little bit of the old me during 2019. I get a little bit over dramatic too much.
It's not that. It's just, okay. I am one of them people. I have very strong opinions. I have very strong opinions. You don't have to be sorry about anything, Golf King. You guys are allowed to say what you want to say, right? You're absolutely allowed to say what you want to say. Absolutely. I do not want to ever prevent you from saying what you want to say. However, if I agree with it, I'm going to get upset or disagree with it. I'm going to say something. That's what this show's all about. It's about discussion. It's about, and yes, I have a platform you don't have. I try and give you that same platform. You don't have it. I try. Chris is on the show for that platform, things like that. We try and give you that platform. That's just what, why would it turn bad? Everyone has their opinion. Absolutely. Everybody has their opinions, right. and you just let them say what their opinions are, and I try and do that on a regular basis. Right, on a regular basis, I try and be very open to what everybody says.
Yeah, I mean, I still think people get upset when we argue, and that's not it at all. We're not arguing because we're being hateful. We're just discussing something. To me, it's a discussion.
Especially then, a lot of times, people just happen to see things differently and are not always eye to eye on the same subjects.
Okay, well, the reason I'm saying that you need to trade Kairu is because you've destroyed him. He will not. Kairu is now Tage Thompson, right? Everyone's talking about Tage Thompson right now and how great Tage Thompson is and all of that stuff, right? Him in Buffalo. Tage Thompson would have never gotten that opportunity here in St. Louis. Never gotten that opportunity. Kairu got it, and now all of a sudden, everything he does, every mistake he makes is magnified when the veterans aren't, and that is killing the kid. It's getting him killed. He's getting killed right. He's standing on the ice, getting chewed out on the ice, and when it happened to Thomas, Tarasenko stood up for him. For some reason, Tarasenko didn't stand up when it happened to Kairu, right? And it probably should have. Jason says everyone played like crap. After the second period, they did what they always do, not finish games and play down to their opponent. I disagree with that. They did not play down their opponent. The third period was on the entire team. They just put it in cruise control like they always do. Oh, well, first of all, they don't always do that, right? No, Jason, you're allowed to post what you want to post. I just don't have to read it. I can post it. I just don't have to read it. If you want to use expletives, you're more than welcome. Whether or not I use it is up to me. So, I'm absolutely okay with that. I just think that I think that this is one of those where you're this is a surface thing. Oh my God, we always do this. We always do that. No, we don't. And what happened in this game is they did think they had it. They did think they had it in the bag. I omit with that. I don't think they played down to Arizona. I really don't. I think Arizona played up to the Blues. I think in the third, Arizona made some very smart decisions, made good puck decisions, got open, got some great passes, and took advantage of the Blues. Right? I absolutely agree with, believe that. Yeah, well, like guys, I know it's late in St. Louis, and I know you guys have got a lot of comments going on, but I think this is going to be, and I don't want to get anybody upset at me or any of that. No, Jason, like I said, you can curse now. You guys can curse. It's just whether or not I decide to show it. So I don't, and I just want you to know that. Kairu is more of a me first player, not Berube style. I disagree with that. Wes, I absolutely disagree with that.
Oh, Kairu is a guy.
Kairu is a guy that has tons and tons of speed, and instead of letting him use that speed, you rein it in. You rein it in, and he doesn't know how to play like that. That's not being a me first player. You're not using the talent you have there. Right? And that's what I say.
Either using it, they're not using it correctly.
Yeah.
No, guys, Kyrou is a good player. When you're young like that and you get mixed messages, 1 game, 3 games in a row, you're told you can go cook. You can do what you need to do. And he's all over the ice. And then he gets in a game, starts doing that, and he makes a mistake. And Berube tells him, you're supposed to be playing defense. What's wrong with you? You get mixed signals like that from a coach. You don't know what to do.
Yeah. And I've seen it. From that time he got chewed out on the bench is when he flipped. When he flipped, when things went down and bad. Well, guys, we're going to call it. We have a game tomorrow at, I think it's 7 p.m. Central Standard Time or Central Daylight Time. Let me double check that real quick.
Yep. And I will not be able to
tomorrow's game is 8:30, 8:30, or 7:30 Central Daylight Time. So I'll be on at 2. At 7. Oh man, I'm just not thinking. I'll be on at 7 tomorrow afternoon for me, 2 o'clock, 2:30, something like that. Let's have a great game. Let's have a great night. Chris, thanks so much for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it, bud.
Thank you.
All right, thank you guys, and hope you guys are doing good, especially you, Lance.
Thank you.
Right? No, we love it, Lance. Thanks so much for joining me again. Greatly appreciate it.
Thanks for the heated
Sorry,
discussion.
I'm a little frustrated or a little conceited tonight.
No,
it is what it is. Okay, guys, this is Guy to the Y Blues fan for Lance Scott from the Drop and Chris Lambert saying aloha and mahalo, and we'll see you tomorrow on the Blue Note Fan Report.